Hello, eighth grade. How we doing today? We are on the home stretch. Summer's almost here. Woo! All right, so today I, Miss Jacobs, am going to be doing one of your final lessons on ecosystems today. So look at the picture below here. This is a picture, so I'll come up here, of a population of clownfish. A population is a group of organisms that all belong to the same species. So if you look below, this population of fish, they all look the same, all the same species. Well, populations of organisms, they don't all just live in a bubble amongst themselves, right? They live in communities of organisms where you've got all these different populations of organisms living simultaneously in the same ecosystem with all the biotic and abiotic components of their habitat. They all live together. And you know what? They also interact with one another. Those interactions we call symbiotic relationships. So today I'm going to talk to you about several different symbiotic relationships. A symbiotic relationship is a relationship that exists in two different things. So, two different organisms that live together in direct contact. So, we've got predator prey relationships, we've got competition, mutualism, cooperation, parasitism, and commensalism. So, there's several different types of relationships that these different organisms have with one another. Predator-prey relationship. So you have learned about predator and prey relationships since I'm sure maybe third grade. Well, the predator is the organism that is doing the hunting, right? The prey is the organism that is being hunted. It's the food, right? The great circle of life. So we've got organisms that eat other organisms, and the ones that do the hunting, they're the predators. The ones that are being hunted, those are the prey. When we look at predator and prey relationships in a habitat, we notice that they fluctuate, and it's normal for them to fluctuate in ecosystems or in habitats. What happens is if you have a lot of prey, right, you got a lot of food, that's going to bring in a lot of predators. Well, when there's a lot of predators now and they start eating all the food, the prey relationship starts to go down. All right, well, now that there's not a lot of food, the predators, the ones that need to eat the food, well, their population starts to dwindle. They start to go away to different habitats to try and find food in other places. Now that the predators are gone, the prey can grow in number. So as you can see in the graph below, they have an inverse relationship with one another. Let's move on. All right, next relationship, competition. So competition describes a relationship between two organisms dealing with how they have to fight for a resource. So that resource might be food, water, shelter, a mate, but it describes how they have to fight, okay? This is a fighting relationship because they both have the same need in their ecosystem. Sometimes you can have competition between two organisms of the same species, like that's shown in the picture below, where these two cheetahs are fighting over the same food, or they can be between two different organisms of different species, and they can be both needing the same thing. Next one, mutualism. Mutualism is a relationship, a symbiotic relationship in which both organisms benefit, right? You scratch my back, I'll scratch your back, okay? So if you look at the pictures below, where we've got down here, you've got your crocodile and bird. Well, the bird is cleaning the teeth of the crocodile, getting food. Crocodile's getting its teeth clean, getting those pearly whites, getting all those bugs and stuff out of its pearly white. So it's feeling a lot better. So it's positive. Bees and flowers. Well, the flowers rely on bees to pollinate them or to spread that pollen so that they can reproduce. And the bees use that pollen to make honey. So positive. Mutualism, everybody wins. Cooperation. Cooperation deals with organisms that work together for a mutual purpose. So just humans, we are a cooperative species, right? We work together for the good of the whole. Sometimes that's protection. So in this pictures below, I've got dolphins. Dolphins work together to protect one another and to protect their young. So they group and they swim together for protection. Sometimes you have cooperative relationships where you have hunting. So in the little GIF below, I've got these wolves or these pack animals. They are hunting this bison. So they are working as a group for their common mutual purpose. food. Yum, 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 yum. Sometimes it's division of labor. So these bees, they each are specialized in a job, and they are trying to make honey. And so there is a cooperative, it is a group effort for a common purpose. All right, parasitism. We talked a lot about this in our disease unit right before COVID started. And so, parasitism is a relationship in which one organism benefits while the other organism is harmed. It's a plus and minus relationship. So, the parasite is the organism that is doing the harming, and the organism that is being harmed is called the host. The parasite typically will live in or on the host, and they will slowly steal or drain some kind of nutrient from that, whether that's blood, spit, maybe their food in their digestive tract. But it is the parasite is the organism that is doing the harm, and they typically don't try and kill the host because remember they need the host to stay alive. They need to take that nutrient from the host. Last one I'm going to talk to you about today is what's called commensalism. You all probably have never heard of this before, but it's a symbiotic relationship in which one organism benefits and the other is neither helped or harmed. The other one just doesn't care. But it's a relationship in which one organism gets something out of it. So if you look at the pictures below, I've got your remora fish over here with the shark. And so the remora fish are benefiting, and the shark isn't getting nothing out of this relationship. So the remora fish, they just follow the shark the whole time, and they hover close to it, and they get protection from the shark. And every time the shark eats some big fish, they get to scavenge and eat the leftovers, and then they follow the shark again. The shark get nothing from these remora fish. And then the other picture below over here, I've got, these golden jackals or these out in prairies, right? And so sometimes they get kicked out of their pack, right? And we know that these dog type species, they're pack hunters. Well, if they're kicked out of the pack, this cooperative relationship, they no longer can hunt anymore. And so what they sometimes do is they have a commensalistic relationship with some of these big cats. And what they do is they just like creepily follow these big cats, several feet behind. And then after that cat is done with their kill, they'll kind of go and sniff around the remains, and then they get to eat the scraps that are left over. So by following and being a nuisance to these big cats, they get a positive, they benefit from this big cat. The big cat gets nothing from this little like stalker of this golden jackal behind it. So again, commensalism, one organism gets something out of the relationship, the other gets nothing. So we got predator prey, we've got cooperation, we've got commensalism, parasitism, we've got mutualism, and we've got cooperation. So we've got a lot of different symbiotic relationships. Again, these are ways that these organisms interact with one another in their community, within their ecosystem. So guys, all right, sayonara. Miss Jacobs signing off for another fantabulous lesson on ecosystems here. Adios.